Ever since Volcano the Blast Coaster was announced closed in early 2019, we all would cast our own theories to what might replace it. Some said a GCI Woodie, others said a Gerstlauer Infinity, maybe even another Intamin Launch Coaster. But then plans for a B&M Wing Coaster surfaced. Some of us were excited that King's Dominion is finally getting that big new coaster, while others said it's simply just not worthy. Now that it's gone, the time has come to share our guesses as to what might come next. But because this is a coaster theory, we look deeper into how there might have been a replacement in store for us the whole time. If you're new around here, click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any future coaster theories. Also, today's shout out goes to Twisted Steel. If you want to get featured in my next video, then just comment something down below. If I like it, then I'll be sure to put you in my next video. This video is part 2 of a two-parter I'm doing on King's Dominion. On last episode of Coaster Theory, we talked about how Twisted Timbers might have replaced a B&M Hyper, and how that B&M Hyper might have later turned into a B&M Wing. I recommend you go check it out and then come back to this video. I'll put a card at the top of the screen if you're interested. And as always, this is just a theory for fun, so don't take it too seriously. A while back, plans were released by KatieFans.com that showed a layout of a B&M Wing that could have been a possible Volcano replacement. But now the plans have since been put on pause. My guess is King's Dominion is going to focus on the S&S Free-Spin to replace the crypt, and then save up a little more money for a bigger replacement. When it comes to Volcano, the park knows that the removal struck hard with us fans, and if they're going to put something else in that area, it's gotta be good. So with all of that in mind, is the Wing Coaster really what's going to replace Volcano? I think yes and no. I think the Wing Coaster will come sooner rather than later, but it won't be the successor of Volcano. Going back to the official artwork that the park released a few years back, funny enough, it doesn't have Volcano. I mean, we're talking about Volcano. This was the most popular ride in the park. It should be front and center right up there with I-305. Now, I don't want to jump to conclusions because we all know that Volcano was most likely a last-minute decision. Maybe it's just a coincidence that Volcano is not on the art. Or maybe when we say last-minute decision, it's not what we think. It's clear the park knew that Volcano had issues years before they closed it, and they knew they were going to close it at some point, but they didn't know when. That's why when the time came in early 2019, it was a last-minute decision because it was at that very moment they had to pull the plug. They might not have put Volcano on the art because they anticipated it to be gone at some point in the future, just like how they thought the Hyper would come at some point in the future. So even though Volcano's not on the art, there's another coaster right there front and center that everyone misses. A GCI Woodie. Come on, King's Dominion, you put a B&M Hyper, a GCI Woodie, and a weird purple coaster on the art, but not Volcano. It's alright, maybe they were in talks with GCI to build them a coaster. And you can't deny that this is a GCI. The big giveaway here is that curve drop. These curve drops are pretty popular on GCIs. The only two that don't have them are the two at SeaWorld parks. You got Invader and Texas Stingray. The other Woodies in the park are Grizzly, Racer, and Woodstock Express. No way is this coaster like Racer or Woodstock Express. Yes, it could pass as Grizzly, but then again, the curve drop. And the coasters on the art are fairly accurate, but nothing about this ride tells me it's Grizzly. They were planning on opening this coaster as a Volcano replacement. Maybe the park planned to remove Volcano when the art was released, but later decided to keep it running for as long as possible, thus leading to the dreadful last-minute decision because they just wanted to juice the life out of it. My guess is they had this GCI all set as a replacement and even had the theme, but it never happened because they wanted to keep Volcano up. So if the coaster was finished and ready for construction, what happened to it? They put it at Kings Island and called it Mystic Timbers. Okay, stick with me. I'm gonna be honest, this theory is a little crazy, but there's a slim chance it could be. I said when the coaster was set to open, King's Dominion even had a theme picked out, the Mystic Timbers theme. Mystic Timbers would get built in 2017, a year after the art was released, and then a year later, stuff happens and King's Dominion builds Twisted Timbers. Why does everybody say that Mystic Timbers and Twisted Timbers have nearly the same theme? Because it is the same theme, but King's Dominion changed it to more of an orchard style to fit with Candy Apple Grove. I hope this makes sense. This theory is a little bit confusing, so if you have any questions, put them in the comments down below. I'll do my best to answer all of you. Now that Volcano is officially gone, can King's Dominion get the new Woodie? I think so. Looking at options and gaps the park could fill, they are most likely to get a Free-Spin, Wing or Flyer, new Woody, or maybe some sort of Gerstlauer, maybe a dive coaster, something like Hang Time. Out of those, to me, the ones that stick out are a new Woody and a Wing Coaster. Going back to the whole Mystic Timber side of things, I'm not saying this coaster would be a clone because King's Dominion would need to start from scratch. If they were to build this, I think they could use some of the Volcano land for a station and a lift, but a lot of the coaster I would say is going to go right up here against I-305. If the park is still up to build a Woody, I would love to see a theme that comes with some sort of fire effect. Pull a Wicker Man, bring that theme to the States. The fire theme with a wood coaster would be perfect. So if the Woody's coming, what about the plans of the B&M Wing? Maybe, just maybe, and this is me talking trimless, they would get the Woody as the replacement so they could put the B&M Wing somewhere else in the park. In recent years, Cedar Fair has refurbished some of their park's front gates. Cedar Point and Carowinds. Both King's Dominion and Kings Island need a gate update. I would love to see something like Gatekeeper at King's Dominion, but this time a little bit of a smaller model so it would be better. If there's something us coaster nerds know, it's that in most cases, the smaller coaster gives the better ride. Mako and Wicked Cyclone are two great examples of this. And this also applies for B&M Wing Coasters. I think a lot of us can agree that if you take away Thunderbird's launch and just gave it a lift hill, a lot of us would still prefer it over a bigger B&M Wing like Gatekeeper. All in all, my theory goes that King's Dominion will go back to their original roots and get a GCI Woody to replace Volcano. The B&M Wing will get moved to the front of the park and come with a gate revamp. Give the Wing Coaster a red color scheme and I think we've got a deal. So, what do you think? I know this theory was a little crazy and out of control, but be sure to tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you agree or disagree? I read every comment and would love to hear what you have to say. Also, be sure to click that top link in the description down below to pick up some of your very own theme park media merchandise. And if you're not already listening to my podcast Talkin' Trimless, click that link in the description down below. It's just a blast. We have some awesome guests, we talk about the news, we play some games. If you like coasters, you're gonna want to listen to this podcast. It's a great listen. If you enjoyed today's video and want to see more just like it, click this playlist right here. If you want to subscribe to my channel, click my logo right here. I'm Zach from Theme Park Media signing off, and I will catch you in the next one.